All right, good evening, everybody. It's July the 12th, the year 2017. I wanted to do a book report on this book that I just finished. The title is Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department by J. Christian Adams. It's 8 hours and 26 minutes long. I listened to it via audio as I was doing other things, driving down the road, walking around the lake, what have you. And since I just finished it today, I wanted to do the book report and make sure I just tell you that, everything that comes to mind after listening to all 8.5 hours. There's this topic of race neutral versus race conscious. And, typically people like to think of laws being applied equally to all people, no matter what the color of their skin. But that's not what's going on at all. The Obama Department of Justice has an agenda. This book was written by an insider, and he talks about all kinds of activities, whether it be voter intimidation, voter fraud. There was one lady inside the high-level Department of Justice for the Civil Rights Division who didn't like the phrase, who didn't like the word picnic, because in her mind it meant pick a nigger, and she thought the Southern folks would sit around and eat watermelon and enjoy their nice, baskets of food with sandwiches and lemonade, and then after they filled their bellies, they would go off and find a black person to lynch. And so she absolutely hated the word picnic, which is absurd. There's no evidence of that whatsoever. But she wouldn't allow anybody to use the word picnic in her department. These are the types of people that are in our Department of Justice, how off base of reality they are. Let me put this microphone on speaker, and you can listen to just a sample, and then I got some other things that I want to highlight about the book.
Do not protect everyone equally, but only certain oppressed minorities. Not everyone who works there subscribes to these views, but nearly everyone who manages the place now does. As a result, the Civil Rights Division has squandered its moral authority. Having initially been infused with the spirit of the original civil rights movement and its emphasis on racial equality and color blindness, the division is now home to the rotted industry of racial grievance.
All right, that was just a sample. There's also a trailer. If you look up, there's a 3-minute trailer. It's called Injustice, Exposing the Racial Agenda of the Obama Justice Department, audiobook by J. Christian Adams. I recommend you listen to the trailer if this book is interesting to you. Again, I'm very interested in the Department of Justice topics, and I'm interested in what motivates them, what drives them, and I want to understand, because I think they're corrupt and they're putting innocent men in prison. And so as much as I can learn about the Department of Justice, I try to do that. Here is the book on Amazon. It's got a little bit different color, but it's the same book. It goes through the table of contents. It talks about voter fraud and how the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division simply will not enforce any sort of laws when the voter fraud or voter intimidation is done by black people. It seems like they have the mentality that no matter what black people do, it can never be as bad as what the white person has done to them. So even when they are blatantly stealing elections or bussing in people, and they'll have what they call voter helpers to vote for people that they don't. The people who are actually voting don't even actually ever see the form. That they've talked about example after example of voter fraud and just other people voting for them. And you can go through all the examples in the book. A lot of time is spent on the Department of Justice and how, again, it's race neutral versus race conscious. And people like to think that laws are applied without any credit or any sort of, I don't know what the word is, but without any application towards race, right? It's race neutral. The law is the law, and it should be applied equally to black and white people. But when it comes to the Civil Rights Division, that's absolutely not the case, and it goes through a lot of examples about that in this book. At the end, in chapter, I believe it was chapter 9, even though this says chapter 8, maybe it is chapter 8, it actually talks about solutions of what things should be done to fix the problem. And then it gives this example of this guy, King Samir Shabazz. And you can see his picture. He's a famous Black Panther guy in Philadelphia. And he was quoted as saying, I hate white people, all of them, every last iota of a cracker, I hate it. We didn't come out here to play today. There's too much serious business going on in the black community to be out here sliding through South Street with white dirty cracker whore bitches on our arms, and we call ourselves black men. What the hell is wrong with you, black man? You had a doomsday with a white girl on your damn arm? We keep begging white people for freedom. No wonder we are not free. Your enemy cannot make you free, fool. You want freedom, you're going to have to kill some crackers. You're going to have to kill some of their babies. And that's King Samir Shabazz, head of the Philadelphia chapter of New Black Panther. That's his picture. Let's watch this video. I'm going to put my microphone on mute here while you watch this, guys.
Back? Yeah. What's going on? We're at the Billy Club right here. So, do we have any problems here? What's going on? Everything okay?
Everything's fine.
I'm just making sure.
Why y'all taking pictures?
I'm here. I'm just a media guy, and that's all I'm doing. I'm with University of Pennsylvania. No. Who are you with? Sorry.
I'm security.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think they know about it already.
I mean, I'm not. I have a poll watcher certificate, so I can go inside.
I'm just wondering why you come up taking pictures.
I mean, we're what?
I'm just wondering why everybody's taking pictures. That's all.
Okay. I mean,
No.
I think it might be a little bit intimidating that you have a stick in your hand. That's why, you know?
Yeah.
All right, that's King Samir Shabazz standing outside a polling place with a nightstick dressed in Black Panther garb. Here's another video I want you guys to see.
He called the police, and the cops came, and they took the guy with the nightstand, or at least...
Why are you wearing that uniform?
And all that there is not necessary.
Well, I didn't mean to harass you. I'm just here to ask a question, that's all.
I don't know why you're here at the polling place with the camera in the first place.
Well, it's our constitutional right to be at the polling place, to record the...
I don't want you recording me. How about the community doesn't want you recording them? People come to vote, and they come to vote in peaceful atmosphere. They don't come to have taking cameras and microphones and putting it in their face.
Well, do people come to vote with expecting to see someone with a nightstick out front? Was that...
Nobody here has a nightstick, and so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, there was a person with a nightstick. We have video of it.
I don't care about what was. I'm talking about what is.
Okay, well, that's...
All right, that's just one example of a Black Panther standing outside a polling place. We also have this video.
He has a billy club in his hand.
Let the lawyers say that's why.
Should I? No, I know.
You saw me out here earlier.
No, they're not. The police are here right now.
Yes, I'm not.
I'm telling you.
All right, the reason I wanted to show 3 different videos because the book spends a lot of time on that particular incident, and I think the man who wrote the book wanted to prosecute King Samir Shabazz for voter intimidation, but the Department of Justice simply refused to let him do that. So, that it is what it is, right? If you go to the Department of Justice website, they talk about the Civil Rights Division. You got the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice, created in 1957 by the enactment of Civil Rights Act of 1957. Talks about Dr. Martin Luther King, the assassination of him, and Medgar Evers. If you scroll down, you're going to see the LGBTI working group. If you click on that, the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice has an entire team of people that go after any sort of discrimination against LGBTI. I have no idea what I stands for. That's got to be lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transvestites. What's I? I thought it was Q for queer. I don't know what I stands for. Anyway, intersex. There you go. Look at that. Maybe it means intersex. Huh. Anyway, I don't even know what that means. But anyway, you got an email address. So if you guys see anybody, taking the rights away of LGBTI, the Department of Justice the Civil Rights Division will help you out, I'm sure. What else? I guess that's it. I'm trying to think of any other highlights from the book. It was very interesting. I mean, it's not surprising to me, right? Because I know how evil the Department of Justice is. So when I think of the Department of Justice, I think of Satan's round table. That, the Department of Justice is one member of Satan's round table along with the FBI and our judiciary. But for the mainstream American who thinks that, our government is race neutral and that, the laws are applied equally to all people, this would be a shocking book, right? Because it's written from an insider and it talks about the mentality and the mindset of Eric Holder and the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice. Matter of fact, Eric Holder keeps a piece of paper in his wallet, and I'll close the video down by reading that. It says, this is a piece of paper that Eric Holder told a reporter that he always keeps with him all the time. And it says that blackness is another issue entirely apart from class in America. No matter how affluent, educated, and mobile a black person becomes, his race defines him more particularly than anything else. Black people have a common cause that requires attending to, and this cause does not allow for the rigid class separation that is the luxury of American whites. There is a sense in which every black man is as far from liberation as the weakest one if his weakness is attributable to racial injustice. When asked to explain this passage, Holder replied, "It really says that I am not the tall U.S. attorney, I am not the thin United States attorney, I am the black United States attorney." And he was saying that no matter how successful you are, there's a common cause that bonds the black United States attorney with the black criminal and the black doctor and the black homeless person. That's taking blackness to a whole new level, right? I mean, that's the way that Christianity should be. No matter what your status in life, whether it's, whether you have a high position in society or a low position in society, you should have a common bond with your brothers and sisters in Christ. Okay? But what they've done, what Eric Holder has done, is he says, I have a common bond with my black brothers and sisters, whether they're doctors, whether they're homeless people, no matter what their position in society, and that they need to stick together. That's what the Civil Rights Division is not about implementing race-neutral laws. They're all about racial grievances, and again, it boils down to race neutral versus race consciousness. And you can go read the book yourself. I highly recommend it. It was 8.5 hours of my life. It just goes to show me how corrupt the Department of Justice is. And again, it didn't surprise me, but it is kind of eye-opening to hear it from an insider. I guess that's about all I got. I do wish you guys well. I know this book report went a long time, but it was an 8.5 hour book. He talks about a lot of stuff. So if you want to understand the Civil Rights Division in the Department of Justice, and I don't think anything has changed now that we got Trump, check it out, and I highly recommend it. God bless. Take care. The last line of peaceful defense between a tyrannical government and the defendant is jury nullification. Educate yourself about jury nullification at FIJA.org.